I should have trusted my instincts and kept my mouth shut. That evening, though, the words escaped before I could stop them. We were sitting around the dining table, me, my husband Daniel, and his longtime friend Marcus. The three of us had shared countless meals together over the years, but something had shifted between Daniel and me. The warmth we once carried so easily had thinned into polite silence, the kind that makes every sentence feel risky. Marcus cracked a casual joke about how relationships change, how familiarity slowly dulls excitement. I laughed, not really thinking, and said something reckless, something meant to sound light. Maybe that's because your best friend understands me better than you do. The room froze. Marcus paused with his glass halfway to his lips. Daniel's hand tightened around his fork. I felt the mistake instantly and tried to laugh it off, brushing my hair back and muttering that I was kidding. But Daniel didn't laugh. He didn't even blink. He stared at me as if I was someone he'd just met and didn't recognize. Marcus coughed and attempted to steer the conversation elsewhere, but Daniel pushed his chair back and stood. "You think that's amusing?" he asked. His voice was steady, too steady, and that calmness made my stomach knot. "Daniel, please," I said softly. "It was a dumb joke." "Was it?" he replied, each word measured. Marcus mumbled an excuse about heading out, but Daniel didn't acknowledge him. He walked toward the kitchen, and I followed, trying to explain. He stopped me with a raised hand. "I've heard enough," he said. That night, he didn't come to bed. I lay awake listening to the refrigerator hum, replaying my words over and over, wondering how something so small could fracture everything. By morning, his coffee sat untouched, his car was gone, and his wedding ring rested on the table beside my mug. At first, I convinced myself he just needed time. Daniel always processed things alone. But by the third day, the silence felt heavy and final. My calls went unanswered. My messages stayed unread. Even Marcus stopped responding. That absence cut deeper than I expected. I kept reliving that moment, Daniel's expression, the disbelief and hurt mixed together. I hadn't meant it the way it sounded. Marcus and I had been friends long before Daniel and I married. There had never been anything inappropriate, but my careless words had planted doubt. I drove to Daniel's workshop, hoping to fix what I had broken. His car was there. Inside, he barely glanced at me. "You shouldn't be here," he said. "I need to explain," I replied. He looked up then, his eyes exhausted. "Explain what?" "That my wife thinks my closest friend understands her better than I do." "It was a joke," I said, my voice shaking. "You know I say stupid things when I'm nervous." "No," he snapped, slamming a tool onto the bench. "I don't know you anymore. And maybe that's the problem." I fought back tears. "You're twisting it." "Am I?" he asked quietly. "Marcus has been acting strange too. Makes me wonder why." My heart sank. "You know there's nothing between us." "I thought I knew you," he said, turning away. The sound of metal clinking filled the space. I stepped closer. He stepped back. "Go home," he said. "Please." I left feeling hollow. At home, I stared at Marcus's last message from days earlier. Maybe we should keep some distance. Daniel's noticing things. Noticing what? There had been nothing to notice. Until now. Suddenly every shared joke and late conversation felt wrong in hindsight. The next morning, I went to Marcus's apartment, desperate for answers. He looked uneasy when he opened the door. "You shouldn't be here," he said. "What did you mean?" I asked. "What is Daniel noticing?" He hesitated. "He's been suspicious for a while. Our jokes, the way we talk. After what you said at dinner, it just confirmed it for him." "There was never anything," I said. "I know," he replied. "But it didn't look that way." Then he added quietly, "He told me not to contact you anymore." The realization hurt more than I expected. Daniel wasn't just angry. He was erasing me from his life. I left without another word. When I returned home, the The house felt stripped bare. Most of Daniel's things were gone. On the counter sat a folded note. I wanted to believe it was just a mistake, but I can't live wondering what's hidden behind every silence. Maybe one day you'll understand what that joke cost us. I held the note to my chest, realizing how fragile love could be. One careless sentence had outweighed years of commitment. Weeks passed. Daniel never came back. Still, sometimes I hear his voice in my head, calm and wounded. You think that's funny? If you enjoyed this rewritten story, please support me and help me reach 2,000 subscribers.